Okay, before we get started, I know this is not how you're supposed to use the mic with the pop filter like that. You're supposed to have like a windsock thing. Okay, this is the setup. Okay, please forgive me. I know it's not exactly the pinnacle of professionalism, but it's what we've got. So deal with it. I wanted to talk about Clair Obscur. All right, I'm a little late to the party. I know. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I love this game and I want to talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. But there was some dialogue about Clair Obscur, about how, you know, Square Enix wasn't doing turn based combat. And there was an interview about how Naoki Yoshida, don't. I love Naoki Yoshida, okay? I play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I love him. Please don't be mean to him, okay? But he said something along the lines of, we can't do turn-based combat with the graphics that we were implementing. It would look weird with turn-based combat. You couldn't do that, and once you have really great graphics, you don't want to go back. So we chose action this time. And I love Yoshida, and I think he had to defend the decision to play Final Fantasy 16 and to make it the way that it is. So he had to take that stance regardless of how he actually felt. But then Clair Obscur came along. Clair Obscur showed turn-based works with some pretty amazing graphics, and that you can do amazing graphics with turn-based combat and have it not look weird at all. Totally fine, absolutely fantastic. So, reasonably, fans were like, well, Square Enix is wrong, they lied to us. And Clair Obscur succeeded because we've wanted turn-based combat for so long, and Square Enix wouldn't give it to us, and Final Fantasy wouldn't give it to us. So obviously, Clair Obscur succeeded. But I feel like that does a disservice to Clair Obscur and to Sandfall Interactive, because that is not why Clair Obscur succeeded. It might have helped. It was a part of why. Clearly, it's really important. The turn-based combat, they know how to do it, and they know how to do it well, but it's because they know the heart of RPGs. JRPGs, other RPGs. There's pretty clearly some inspiration from games like Persona 5, like you can see it in the UI, but it's a lot more than just Persona 5, and I feel like a lot of people don't realize that. One of my favorite games is Final Fantasy X, and there aren't so many really clear-cut things about Clair Obscur that are obviously based on Final Fantasy X, but you feel it when you play. It has the same heart and soul as Final Fantasy X. The story is told in a very similar way. The characters interact in similar ways. You can tell that when they made the game, they were playing through Final Fantasy X at the same time and taking inspiration from it the whole time. There was an interview about how this stupid gestural parkour and other puzzles are from the Final Fantasy X minigames to get the ultimate weapons. Like there's one where you have to dodge lightning 200 times in a row. I did that on the first try, by the way, just saying, get good scrubs. Why am I so mean? But my point is that Clair Obscur isn't doing well just because it's turn-based, but because it has the heart of ye olden RPGs. It takes from older Final Fantasies than 10. It brings back the overworld, which honestly, I didn't see coming. I thought the overworld would look kind of weird in a game with graphics like this. But somehow they did it totally fine. You can jump on SKA and run around the map, and it looks so beautiful. I don't know how they managed to make the old overworlds from Final Fantasies 4, 7, 8, 9 in this game and make it look this good without it being a little awkward. I mean, I guess you could argue there are some things that look a little weird, but not really. Just make the characters on the map big. That's it. There are little gestrels that are pretty small on the map. I guess they're a little awkward, but then there's a minigame to find them, so it makes sense that they're small. I remember playing those old Final Fantasies, kitting out my character with the best gear and getting so excited to get mithril armor, So excited to hit that 9,999 damage barrier, which Clair Obscur brings back, because of course they do. Getting so excited to get to the next area and find new enemies and new bosses and find out what their weaknesses are, because you really had to engage. It wasn't just about like leveling to a certain level. Like at the very start of Final Fantasy IV, there's a mist dragon that at certain times where you can't attack. If you attack back, it hits you. It's really simple, but there are other fights in Final Fantasy IV that do more things like that, and Clair Obscur took the best parts of that, because Final Fantasy IV had some that could be a little frustrating. They could be frustrating. In Clair Obscur, they get rid of all the frustrating parts. They add the parry and the dodge and different mechanics where you can shoot weak points of bosses, and sometimes the weak points actually make the bosses themselves weaker. There are the gestural enemies where you shoot them in the shoulders, and then after the shoulders get blown off, they can't use their one signature move. That's really annoying. Gosh, every combat encounter is so interactive, so fun. Just making the numbers go up means so much. And isn't that one of the core tenets of an RPG? I'm telling you, if you have not played Clair Obscur yet, and you love those old Final Fantasies, you have to play it. You have to. It's just you feel the heart. You feel the heart in it, and you have to play it. It's that simple. This game succeeded not because the fans wanted a turn-based RPG, but because the devs of Clair Obscur understood what makes a turn-based RPG fun and added as much of that content as they could possibly cram into the game. I could continue about how great the game looks and how beautifully the world and characters are crafted, and the intrigue of the story, especially the allusions to painters and whatnot, but I don't spoil anything. It's just, if you haven't seen it, please go play the game. If you haven't, get it on sale. If things are tight, wait a few years if you have to, but do eventually, when you can, play this game. I love it. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you sticking it through the end. You're the best. Have a great night. Buckle your seatbelts. All those other good things.